Okay, so I technically already watched the video, but I want to do a sort of analysis on it, because there are definitely a few things I have to say about it. I am more of a casual Splatoon fan, just as a warning in a way. I'm not going to really be talking about how these weapons will affect competitive, just how I personally feel about it. So obviously it starts with learning there is a new spin-off game that actually shows Deep Cut in it. And that's very, very cool. The issue I have with it is that Deep Cut probably should have gotten this character development either before or during Splatoon 3. Because this is really, really cool. Like, I really like the look of it. I really like that we finally get to learn more about Deep Cut. And actually, I mentioned a while ago to one of my friends that I wanted to actually do banditing with Deep Cut instead of having to fight them. Also, I do love their silly faces when they're pressed up against the glass. Like, they're just so silly. But, like, again, they probably should have gotten this earlier. But, you know, a few years later, I guess, fine. I'm wondering if this was the plan, or if this is just what they decided to do, because if they realized Deep Cut wasn't popular. But I am really curious about what this is gonna be like. Obviously, it looks like the weapons. Oh, I wanted to mention, the gun you get is literally just a recycled bottle, and I don't know what the stuff around them is. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with camping. I don't know too much about camping. The gun literally has a recycled ink tank thing on it, which I find really cool. Like, I think this whole thing's kind of gonna be like a collecting sort of adventure, like where you slowly find things hidden around the area. So it does seem really cool. And I think the player character is the pilot. And I am somewhat... The only issue is that I don't have a Switch 2 yet, because I never buy a console at release. But I'm, like, super curious. Wait, I don't remember seeing that. Hold up. What was that? Okay, that was definitely an eye-opening. Concerning. I really don't remember seeing that the first time I watched this. I might have looked away at that point. But this does look really cool. But yeah, I am really curious about how they're gonna show Deep Cut, because I did like the new hairstyles they showed on them. Yeah, like, I like their new hairstyles and new outfits. They look really cool. But yeah, I really do want to learn more about them, and like I said, I wanted to adventure with them instead of having to fight them, because I did find it weird that we had to fight them in Splatoon 3, and then they kind of joined us at the final boss battle, but then that was just kind of it. Like, it would have been, like, fun if they kind of just joined in the crater and you could talk to them like Callie and Marie, but I guess spin-off game, why not? But, I think I've talked enough about this. If I think of something else, I'll talk about that. But, now I want to touch on to the new weapons. Okay, so I'm glad they're adding new weapons. I'm tired of only having to choose between 2 kits when I have a weapon I really like. Because literally 2 kits is definitely not enough options. Because it's just like... like, if you don't like one, then it's like, oh yeah, I have the other. But if both are bad, then that really sucks. Like, if there was a third one that was at least somewhat better, it would... you'd have better chances of having one you'd like, instead of just 2 options out of the how many subs and special combos. But, like, I think this came way, way, way too late. Like, Splatoon 3 was so, like, out of it. Like, it seems so dead. Oh, and something I know a lot of people will be happy about, it also means there's a new Reflux, which I know a lot of people were complaining about. And I've tried to make the Reflux, but I also was disappointed by the kit, so I never used it. So yeah, this is a good update, but came way, way too late. I like the designs, they're cool, but did they really have to wait this long? We just passed Splatoon's 10th anniversary, and the only thing they did for the 10th anniversary was art, and then a few weeks later months? Yeah, I think a month or 2 later they show this, which is, I guess, okay. I do like the Tri-Stringer though. Well, yeah, I like the Splatter Shot and the Tri-Stringer. The rainbow's really cool, and I like the glossy silver. And the new outfit stuff is curious. Hopefully it's not all Grisco stuff. But yeah, this update came, like, way too late. because I was still playing. I was actually going back to Splatoon 2 because it seemed like there were more choices. There were more options in Splatoon 2. But yeah, I suppose this is like pretty cool. But like a lot of this stuff really seems like they should have added it earlier. But I am glad they're not making an exclusive Switch 2 update because that would be very maddening. Now, I don't know how I feel about Urchin Underpass because I never had Splatoon 1, even though I had a Wii U. I guess I just never got it. But, like, I don't know how I feel about Urchin Underpass. I mean, like, I never played it, so I think it looks pretty cool. And I don't know how close it looks compared to the original. But I do recall seeing videos of Urchin Underpass. But yeah, that's basically it. But yeah, it's kind of funny that the only thing they're offering for the Switch 2 is smoother graphics. But I do like, that they were talking about the Grand Festival. But I'm surprised they didn't mention how you access the Grand Festival a second time, which is with an amiibo. June 12th. It's literally 2 days from now. Why'd they tell us about this 2 days from? Hold on. Okay, they didn't say next year or anything like that. Okay, there is one more thing I remembered I wanted to talk about. First of all, I like this new hairstyle. I was always wondering why the Inklings never had ponytails. And this is like a really cool combination of the dried out looking form and a ponytail added onto it. But I do hope you can still play as Octoling. Like, you probably should be able to, right? Because I mean, the Splatlands, Octolings and Inklings never really were apart in any way. But yeah, I do love how expressive Deep Cut is. Like, even Shiver, who like seems like she'd be the more serious type, is still doing stuff like this. Like, it's so cute. But hold on, was Pilot? Hold on, I need to say something. Okay, so I think that's the player character, but is there nobody in the... Because that's the headrest. And is that the headrest for this person? It doesn't look like there's anyone flying the helicopter. No wonder it crashed. We want to analyze this a little bit more. Map in the basement. Like, that's curious. Like, what basement? An abandoned one? Their own basement? Did they break into someone's house? Oh, and another map of, what Earth kind of looks like after... You know, but, I can't tell what areas these are supposed to be. Is it, like, I for some reason, I want to say this is a version of Hawaii, but I feel like I'm definitely wrong in saying that. But I can't tell what region this is, because I remember seeing the Splatoon world map, but I don't remember what it looked like too much. But yeah, still, honestly, I never thought they'd make a spin-off game. Okay, this is probably gonna be... Wait a minute. Oh my god. Okay, so this is gonna be a long tangent, but I think Splatoon literally stole one of my ideas. I never really said it to anybody, but I literally had an idea for a single player mode where the main base is like not a stationary place, but instead a boat you can ride on. And that's literally what this is. Like, I did not notice it. I literally had the idea. I wrote it down and everything. I came up with this before Splatoon did. Oh my god. Though it doesn't look like the boat is moving, it does look stationary, but still, like, a boat as the area that you float around on. Like, is the main docking area. Also, I do really like the recycling aspect of this, because, like, they just got a bunch of tires and stuff. Though I am curious on whether those are... Wait, actually, do these guys drive cars? I don't recall ever seeing... Oh, no. There's the vans the Squid Sisters have. Sheldon drove one, but I don't know if they use cars commercially. But yeah, I was just trying to think if those wheels were their wheels or human wheels. This is something stupid to be excited about, but something I'm kind of wondering is how the character customization screen is gonna go. I don't know why, but that's one of the things I just kind of love about some of the Splatoon games. Like, I love the Octo expansion one, where it was like in the green, whatever, that weird green space, and you were just slowly figuring out who you were. Same goes for, Side Order, where Pearl's like checking on 8 and making sure they're okay. So, like, I don't know, I like wholesome character well, not wholesome, in a way. I don't think the Octo expansion one is too wholesome. But, just like interesting character customization screens. But yeah, so calling it Splatoon Raiders, that's pretty cool. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was gonna be a 4th Splatoon, but I kind of figured not, because it seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like they weren't gonna do that. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. Oh yeah, Spiral Light Islands, plural. So that means there's gonna be multiple islands we traverse through, which explains why they made a boat. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, exclusively on Nintendo Switch too. I mean, I was already planning on buying one recently, like, because I think the sales have maybe calmed down now, hopefully. But yeah, I am a little disappointed it's only coming out on Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, they didn't give an estimated release date or anything, not even a year, so who knows when it's gonna come out. Though actually, now that I think about it, will Splatoon Raiders even be online? Because I mean, one of the staples of Splatoon is they show online features, like literally this. But they didn't show anything online for this game, so is it literally just a pure spin-off in the sense that you can't battle anybody else? Like it's just a full spin-off, like you can't battle anybody or explore with any friends? Which would be interesting, because Splatoon has basically been an online game since the start. But I would think it would be cool to add like a playing with friends feature, where it's like you go on adventures and raids with your friends. That would seem cool. But who knows what they're planning for this, because all we've seen is one like 2-minute long trailer. Literally 2-minute long. So who knows what they're gonna do.